Okay, we will start the session now. In today's lecture, we are going to see the shape functions for, try to understand, the shape functions for 1D elements. Okay, shape functions for 1D elements. Okay, shape function for 1D elements. So basically, you should understand first, okay, what are the 1D element? Okay, what are the 1D element? Okay, so this 1D element, it is nothing but a line element. Okay, so 1D element, it is nothing but a line element. Okay, or it is also a bar element. It is line element, or it is also a bar element, right? It is basically a line element, right? So see, all of you. So again, there are some types of the 1D element. Okay, so if you want to classify the 1D element, okay, one dimensional element, okay, so this 1D element, okay, so this 1D element, they can be, okay, the 1D element, it can be a linear element. See here, it can be a linear element, okay, or it can be quadratic element, okay, or it can be cubic element. Okay, so this 1D element, it can be either linear, or it can be quadratic, or it can be cubic, right? So what is this linear element? The element with two nodes. Okay, so element with two nodes, the element which are having two nodes, it is called as linear, right? While the element which is having three nodes, it is called as quadratic, right? While the element which is having four nodes, it is called as cubic. Is it okay with this one, all of you? What is linear, quadratic, and cubic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, simply you understand that whenever you have two nodes, it is linear. Okay, whenever you have three node, that is quadratic, and when you have four node, it is cubic. Okay, so just consider this problem. Okay, so this is basically the linear element, right? So this is the linear element which are having two nodes. This is the linear element with two nodes. Okay, if you talk about this one, okay, this is a quadratic element because it is having three nodes, right? And this is cubic element, okay, which are having four nodes. Okay, so that is the difference between linear, quadratic, and cubic, right? So what happens is, as you move from linear, quadratic to cubic, okay, your constants are gets on increasing. The constants will go on increasing, but at the same time complexity will also goes on increasing. Okay, but your accuracy will be also increase. Okay, your complexity will increase because the number of constants with which you want to deal, they will increase, number of constants will increase. Okay, at the same time its complexity will increase, but at the same time your accuracy will be also increased. Okay, so we can have either linear element, quadratic, or cubic. Is it okay? Have you understood with this shape function for, okay, have you understood the types of 1D elements? So 1D elements, they are basically the line element. So this 1D element, they with the two nodes. If it is with the two nodes, it is called as linear. If it is with the three node, it is called as quadratic. If it is,
बॉल है टैक्सी पर चालू रखे हैं
okay, so see, now let's see. Now let's see the shape functions for this one. Now let's see the shape functions for
18 MB 86 माइक चालू कीजिए.
See, all of you, when you are attending the lecture, you must make sure that your mic is mute. This lecture I am directly putting on a YouTube. I am not editing anything. Okay, so all of you think what is to be done. Okay, so see this one. This is 1D element. It is linear, quadratic, or cubic. Now we are interested to calculate its shape function. We are interested to calculate the shape functions. So let's start with, okay, shape functions for linear element. Let's start with the shape functions for linear element. Okay, again, all of you see here. If we need to calculate the shape functions, okay, we will calculate the shape functions. Into coordinate system. Okay, so I will mention here coordinate systems. This is very important. Coordinate systems. You should also understand these coordinate systems. So we have rather three types of coordinate system. Okay, one, it is called as global coordinate system. Okay, one, it is called as a global coordinate system. Okay, what is global coordinate system? If you're going to measure the location of, okay, see here, if this is a fixed support, and if this is the element, okay, let's say this is element number 1 and element number 2. If you are measuring the location of 2 with respect to 1, see, if you are measuring the location of 2 with respect to this fixed support, it is called as the global coordinate system. If you are measuring the location of node 2 with respect to fixed support, it is called as global coordinate system. Okay, one more coordinate system, it is called as a local coordinate system, because this is very important. Local coordinate system. Now see, if you are, I am drawing the same diagram. If you are measuring, see, this is the element, this is node number 1, this is node number 2. Now if you are measuring the location of node 2 with respect to node 1, it is called as local coordinate system. Because why it is called as local? Because you are measuring the location of node 2 with respect to node 1. Okay, that means with respect to the point which is basically lying on the same element, that's why it is local. And here you are measuring the location of node 2 with respect to the point which is lying outside the element, that's why it is global. It is lying on the same element, that's why it is local. It is lying outside the element, that's why it is global. Okay, and one more coordinate system, it is called as a natural coordinate system. Try to understand. Natural coordinate system. Okay. Natural coordinate system. So what is natural coordinate system? See here, for natural coordinate system, okay, let me draw some graph. Okay, value, see, if you see this, both the coordinate system, global or local, they belongs to Cartesian coordinate. Okay, they belongs to Cartesian coordinate. Whether you global it is there or local system it is there, it is based on Cartesian coordinate. What is Cartesian coordinate? Let me know. Here you have x, here you have y. Is it clear or not? This is Cartesian coordinate. Is it okay? This is Cartesian coordinate system.
Yes, sir.
So when you need to measure global position or local position, you measure its position in Cartesian coordinate, right? But when you have it as a natural coordinate system, you have defined limit. Okay, that means you have the maximum limit for, see, you need to replace x by zeta, where limit for zeta is -1 to 1. Similarly, you need to replace y by neta, where limit for neta is equal to again -1 to 1. See here, I'll write down here. Here neta is equal to -1 and here neta is equal to 1. See here, this is natural. So what is natural? X you need to replace by zeta and y you need to replace by neta. And what is the limit for zeta and neta? -1 to 1. Again -1 to 1, right? So if you talk about global coordinate system or local coordinate system, they basically belongs to Cartesian coordinate system, right? But if you call about natural coordinate system, okay, you won't have x and y. Simply you need to replace x by zeta and you replace y by neta. And what is the limit for zeta? If you talk about zeta, it is greater than or equal to -1 or less than or equal to 1. Similarly, neta is equal to greater than or equal to -1 or less than or equal to 1. Okay, so this is the limit for zeta and eta. Okay, now thing is like that. We need to convert from Cartesian coordinate to natural coordinate, right? We should understand how to convert any system from Cartesian to natural. That we are going to see later on. Okay, but now timely you understand that, right? We have three sorts of coordinate system. One, it is global, local, and natural. So global and local, they're basically related with the Cartesian coordinate. If you talk about natural coordinate, you replace x by zeta, y by neta, where zeta and neta are ranging between -1 to 1. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So first you understand what are the types of elements. Type of 1D element: linear, quadratic, and cubic. Now in this particular chapter, or rather throughout the semester, we are mostly interested in these two types of system. Okay, we are interested to calculate the shape function in local coordinate or in a natural coordinate, right? We are interested in these two. Okay, we are interested to calculate shape function for linear element or quadratic element or cubic element, either in local coordinate or natural coordinate. See, we are not interested to go for global. Why we are not interested to go for global? Only this is the distance, na? What is the distance between global and local? It is only this XA. Okay, those who attended the previous lecture, they know this. What is the distance between this? Okay, what is the distance between this global and this local? Okay, it is only this distance. Okay, so if you are able to calculate the local position, you just add this value, that is XA, so you will get a global position. Okay, so we are interested only to get the shape functions either for linear or for quadratic or for cubic, either in local coordinate system or in a natural coordinate system. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's start with the derivation. Let's start with deriving the shape functions, because see, in the Rayleigh-Ritz method, we have roughly written down the shape functions. Okay, we have written like this: u is equal to 1 minus x bar by LE u1 plus x bar by LE u2, but you don't know from where they have been derived. Okay, so let's see from where we have derived those, right? So let's start with the shape functions for I'm initially deriving for 1D element, for 1D, and in 1D initially I'm considering it as a linear element. For 1D linear element, shape functions for 1D linear element. So here only you understand 1D it's a line element, and linear element, it means it will have two nodes. So shape function for 1D linear element in local coordinate, okay, in local coordinate system, have you understood? So see, we will derive now the shape function for this linear element. In linear element, we will initially derive it by local, and after that we will derive by natural, right? So let's do that, right? Let's do that. Okay, so what is local element? This 1D element. Okay, this is a line element. And why it is linear? Because this is having two node. This is node number 1. This is node number 2. So this is 1D linear element, right? So now see here, this let this LE be the length of the element. Obviously, this is the element, so obviously it will have some length. Let LE be the length of the element. Okay, let u1 be the displacement at node 1, and let u2 be the displacement at node 2. Okay, now see, if I ask you what is the value of x bar, obviously it is 0, because we will measure the location of node 2 with respect to node 1. Okay, so obviously I need to give one of the point as a reference point, so I will assign the node 1 as a reference point with the coordinate as x bar is equal to 0. So what is the coordinate of this one? Obviously x bar is equal to LE. Understood or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, this is basically the line element with two nodes. That's why we are calling it as a linear. Okay, each node will have some displacement. Okay, here I'm taking as a displacement. You might have here pressure, you might have here temperature, right? Anything you have, you might have here this angular displacement, anything you can have it at nodes, right? I'm just a reference, I'm taking displacement, u1 and u2, right? So this L is the length of the element. Now I need the location of node 2 with respect to node 1. That's why I'm calling node 1 as 0, coordinate of node 1 as 0. So I will get the coordinate of node 2 as LE. Is it okay? So I need to derive the shape function. Okay. So see, so for that, I need to write down some approximate solution. Okay, so I'll write down, let U is equal to C0 plus C1x, C0 plus C1x. Let me call this as some equation number 1, be an approximate solution. See, when we have written or when we have solved the Rayleigh-Ritz method, Galerkin method, okay, simply when we have solved the collocation method, Galerkin method, least square method, or subdomain method, okay, so these are basically the non-weak forms. These are nothing but a non-weak forms of weighted residual method. Okay, so in that we have written the very first statement. Okay, if you want to get the solution of any differential equation, initially you need to write down an approximate solution. Okay, you can refer those. Okay, we need to write down the approximate solution. Okay, and that approximate solution should be complete. That approximate solution should be complete. Okay, if you're not able to recall, okay, these are the notes. Okay, you can see this. If you need to get the solution of any differential equation, okay, you need to assume the approximate solution in terms of polynomial or trigonometric function. Okay, so I have assumed the approximate solution in terms of polynomial. Okay, so this is first step. Assume the approximate solution in terms of polynomial or trigonometric function. So I have assumed the solution in terms of polynomial. What is the second step? Assume polynomial should be complete and should have sufficient degree differential to the order of given differential equation. Okay, now see, so whatever the solution I have written, okay, it should have sufficient degree. That means you should have sufficient power of x. Okay, you should have sufficient power of x. Now see, here the element is linear, so my power of x is 1. If it is quadratic, my power of x is 2. And if it is cubic, see, try to understand. The element is linear, so I'm taking the power of x as 1. If the element is quadratic, I need to take power of x as 2. If the element is cubic, the power of x should be 3. That means for linear element, I am writing C0 plus C1x. For quadratic, I should write down C0 plus C1x plus C2x square. Okay. For cubic, I should write down C0 plus C1x plus C2x square plus C3x cube. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one or no?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? You might have questioned, sir, why you have written only one power of x? Because it's a linear, right? If it is quadratic, I need to add one more constant, right? Plus C2x square, plus C2x square. I need to add one more constant. If it is cubic, I need to add one more constant, plus C3x cube, like that, right? So this is the approximate solution which I've written. Now see the third statement. Whatever the solution that you have written, it should satisfy the given boundary condition. It should satisfy the given boundary conditions. So now we need to apply the boundary condition. Okay. So see, can you see this? X bar is equal to 0 and X bar is equal to LE. These are nothing but boundary condition. Yes or no? Let me know. Yes or no? Because if you talk about this term and this term, it tells us about the boundary. Is it okay? See, X bar is nothing but 0. It means what? It is an extreme boundary. It is extreme left boundary. X bar is equal to L. That means what? It's the extreme right boundary. Okay. So what is the minimum value of X bar? It's a 0. So this is the minimum value of X bar. What is the maximum value of X bar? It's LE. Is it okay or not? So these are nothing but boundary. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So what I will write down? See, at node 1, try to understand. At node 1, what is the value of X bar? At node 1, what is the value of X bar? It's a 0 value, right? And what is the value of displacement u? Is equal to u1. Na? At node 1, what displacement you will have? Node u1. Okay. So at node 1, x bar is 0 and displacement is u1. So that I put. So see here, u is equal to u1 is equal to c0. I need to calculate c0 plus c1 into x bar. X bar. Let me write down this other x bar. So into x bar. X bar is 0, right? X bar is 0. So what value of c0 you are getting? C0 is equal to u1. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now this is the first boundary condition which you applied. Similarly, you need to apply the boundary condition at node 2, right? So I'll write down at node 2. At node 2, what is the value of x bar? Tell me. At node 2, what is the value of x bar?
LE.
LE, right? And what is the value of displacement u? It is u2. Yes or no? At node 2, displacement will be obviously u2. So let's put those values. U is equal to u2. See here, u is equal to u2 is equal to, what is the value of c0? It's u1 plus c1 into what is x bar? It is LE. Yes or no? Let me know.
Yes,
See,
sir.
u is equal to u2. What is the value of c0? C0 is u1 that I put plus c1 into what is the value of x bar? It's LE. So what value of c1 you will get? C1 is equal to u2 minus u1 by LE. u2 minus u1 by LE. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Now we have C0, we have C1. Can we put in equation number 1? Can you put it or not? So putting the values of C0 and C1 in equation number 1. See why we have calculated this value C0 and C1? Because we need to put in those equations only. Okay, so let's see. U is equal to, what is the value of C0? It is U1. C0 is U1 plus, what is the value of C1? It is U2 minus U1 by LE. U2, see, what is the value of C1? This C1. This is C1. Na? U2 minus U1 by LE into X bar. Say yes or no? Into X bar. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay or not? Let me know. Right? So can we club the terms having coefficient U1? Can we club the terms having coefficient U1? So it is 1 minus x bar by LE, 1 minus x bar by LE U1 plus x bar by LE plus x bar by LE U2. Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So that means what? I ask you to use this directly. Okay, I will show you those. Okay, I will show that those files to you where I ask you to solve. Okay. See here, we have seen this Rayleigh-Ritz method, right? So in Rayleigh-Ritz method, can you see this equation? Can you see this equation? All of you. 1 minus x bar by LE, x bar by LE ut. Can you see this equation? I have asked you to directly take this equation. I have told you that from where this equation is been arrived, that you comes to know in the next chapter. So have you understand from where this equation is been arrived? You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This equation we have directly used. Here we don't know the value of u, right? We don't know the value of u. So we have directly taken u as 1 minus x bar by LE u1 plus x bar by LE u2. That we have taken directly. But at that time you don't know from where this value has been taken, right? So this value has been taken, okay, through this equation. Is it okay? Is it okay now? Okay. So this particular term we have called as N1. So this is N1 U1, and this particular term we have call it as N2. So this is N2 U2. N2 U2. Is it okay? Yes or no? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Understand? N2, U2, right? Now see, what is N1? What is N1? 1 minus x bar by LE, right? What is N2?
X bar divided by L.
X bar by LE. N2 is x bar by LE. Now my question to you is, see, let's come with the diagram. Okay. Now in the equation of N1, let me write down something here. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, let me write down here. See here. In the equation of N1, all of you see, in the equation of N1, if you put x as 0, you put x as 0 and tell me the value. In the equation of N1, you put x as 0 and tell me the value. If you put x
1.
as 0, right, it is 1. Okay. Now see, all of you, why I'm asking you to do this is, see, x is 0. What do you mean by x? X bar is 0. X bar is 0. That means node number 1. Na? Say yes or no? What is x bar is equal to 0? That is node number 1. X bar is 0 is equal to node number 1. And what is node 2? It is x bar is equal to LE. Say yes or no? What is node 2? It is x bar is equal to LE. Now you put in N1, you put x bar is equal to LE. Now tell me the value. In this equation, you put x bar is equal to LE.
0.
0. See here. When you put x bar, see, we need to put only the two boundaries. What is first boundary? 0. And what is second boundary? LE. So that's what we are doing. We are putting first boundary as 0. So we are getting 1. We are putting second boundary LE. So we are getting 0. Now, similar thing is going to happen with N2. In N2, you put x bar is equal to 0.
0.
0. Now here you put x bar is equal to LE.
1.
1. Okay. Now see here. Come back to here. See, when x bar is equal to 0, try to understand. When x bar is equal to 0, what is the value of N1? 1. Say yes or no? See, when x bar is equal to 0, what is the value of N1? 1. Okay. So at x bar is equal to 0, see here, all of you, N1 is equal to 1. Say yes or no? You have some value. See, when x bar is equal to 0, what is the value of N1? 1. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
when x bar is equal to LE, what is the value of N1?
0.
When x bar is equal to LE, what is the value of N1? 0.
0.
So this is the point. This is 0 point, right? So you can have direct connection like this. Is it okay? Let me know. Right? Now come back to this diagram. Now come back to here, right? Now let's do with N2. Okay. Now when x bar is equal to 0, what is the value of N2? When x bar is equal to 0, N2 is what? 0. So here you will get this point. See now, x bar is equal to 0, then N2 is 0. Yes or no? Now see,
Yes, sir.
when x bar is equal to LE, what is the value of N2? It's 1.
1.
Right. So here we'll get N2 is equal to 1. Yes or no? See here at node 1, that is at 0, the value is 0. At node 1, value is 0. And at node 2, value is 1. See here at node 2, value is 1. Yes or no? So here again, you will get connection like this. Yes or no? Let me know. Have you understood?
Yes.
Here,
Yes.
let's start. What is the value of N1 when x bar is 0? When x bar is 0, N1 is equal to 1. When x bar is equal to LE, N1 is equal to 0. That is here at this point. So we'll join like this. Similarly, when x bar is equal to 0, that is at node number 1, N2 is 0. So we are getting this point. Right? Similarly, when x bar is equal to LE, that is at this point, x bar is equal to LE, N2 is 1. So N2 is 1. So we are getting this point, right? So if we combinedly draw the diagram, okay? So I'll draw it like this. X bar is equal to 0. Here X bar is equal to LE. Okay. This is our node number 1. This is node number 2. This is node number 1. This is node number 2, right? So if you want to draw it like this, you will get a diagram like this, yes or no? Okay. Where here you have N1 is equal to 1, where you have N2 is equal to 1. Is it okay? If you superimpose this diagram on each other, you will get the diagram like this. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. See, what you understand from this? Value of shape function is equal to 1. Value of shape function is equal to 1 for the node for which it is defined. See here. Value of N1 is equal to 1 at what node? Node number 1. See here. At node number 1, what is the value of N1? Is equal to 1. And for all other node, it is 0. Getting? See, no shape function N1, it is defined for node 1. Shape function N1, it is defined for which node? It is defined for node 1. So at node 1, value of shape function is equal to 1. Okay, see, what do you mean by 0? It is node 1. So at node 1, shape function N1 is equal to 1. And what is about all other node? It is 0. Similar thing is going to happen with the N2. N2, that is shape function number 2. So shape function number 2, it is defined for node 2. It is defined for node 2. So value of shape function N2 will be equal to 1. At which node? At node number 2. See here. This is, if you want, I will write down here, node 1. This is nothing but node 1. This is nothing but node 2. This is your node 2. Is it okay? So N1 is equal to 1 at what node? 1. Similarly, N2 is equal to 1 at what node? 2. And what is about at all other nodes? It is 0. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
see, shape function will be defined for a particular node only. Okay. So value of that particular shape function is equal to 1. Okay, for which it is defined. N1 it is defined for node 1. So its value will be equal to 1 at node 1. Similarly, N2 is defined for node 2. So its value at node 2 is equal to 1. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now see, there is one more method, right? There is one more method, okay, to derive this shape function. Okay, so if you want, you can alternatively practice this method also. Okay, if you want, here only I will write down that method. Okay, alternatively, you can also, I will write down here, or you can also practice this method also. We want shape function u. Okay, so see how I'm writing. See this x bar, try to understand. X bar minus LE, try to understand. X bar minus LE. This x bar minus LE, see x bar minus LE upon 0 minus LE, see upon 0 minus LE u1 plus, see what I done, x bar minus LE upon 0 minus LE u1 plus, okay, you take it this x bar. Now x bar minus 0, see x bar minus 0, okay, upon LE minus 0, upon LE minus 0 u2e, upon LE minus 0 u2e. Okay, so what you will get here, it's, you will get directly, what do you get? It's minus LE. So you'll directly get here 1 minus x bar by LE u1 plus x bar by LE u2. Is it okay or not? Is it okay or not? Let me know. See, x bar minus LE. If you doesn't want to do this thing till this, you can directly do that like that. X bar minus LE upon 0 minus LE, right? Upon 0 minus LE plus into U1 plus then X bar minus 0 upon LE minus 0 U2E. So this is how you want to get second shift. Yeah, by alternative method, you can get the shift functions. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes.
Okay. So what we have done? We have done the shape function for 1D linear element in local coordinate. We have done it in a local coordinate. Shape functions for 1D, that is, this is 1D element. Okay, it is linear because it is having two nodes in local coordinate because we are dealing with X bar. So X bar, it is basically related with the local. X bar, it is related with the local. And now see, we are doing this for a particular element. If you want, you can write down this E also here, E. If you write down E here, you will get here U1E, you will get here U2E. Okay, so wherever you have U, because we are doing it for element. Okay, we are doing it for element. Okay, so if you want, you can write down instead of U, okay, or instead of any term, okay, we can write down its suffix as E. Okay, so this is U2E, this is U1E, right? U2E, U1E, because this is we are doing for element, right? This is we are doing for element. So if you want, you can write down it. Okay. Understood or not? Let me know. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yeah.
How we
Yes,
derived this shift? Because see, we have used it. We have used it in the previous numericals. Okay, see this one. We have used it. So we should know from where it is derived. So this is all about local coordinate. This is all about local coordinate. Okay. Similarly, we have to derive the shape function. I will write down the same. Only I will just change. Okay. So what I'm writing here. Now I'll derive it for. See, shape functions. Shape function for again 1D linear element, 1D linear element in natural coordinate system. In natural coordinate system. Okay, so only I just change the coordinate system. I've just changed the coordinate system, right? Now see. So the problem initially, which was in a Cartesian coordinate, we need to have that problem into a natural coordinate. So as I told you before, okay, so it's a linear element. So obviously it will have two nodes. See, line means it is 1D. Linear means it is having two nodes in a natural coordinate. Okay, so for natural coordinate, you understand that. Okay, we have the limit for zeta ranging from -1 to +1. Okay, this is the limit for natural coordinate. Okay, because we need to replace now x coordinate by zeta. So what is the limit for zeta? It is -1 to +1. Value for the zeta will be -1 to +1. Now see, here there is one more method. Here there is one more method to derive the shape function. Okay, we will use that. We will use that method. We'll use that method for deriving the shape function. Okay. Otherwise, if you want, okay, in this method also, I will explain you how to derive that. Okay. So all of you see here. See, this method initially we have seen by taking the approximate function. Next, second method which we have seen, okay, by this equation. And let me come to this third method. I just continue the same. In local coordinate only I will continue. Okay. For natural coordinate, I will let you know afterwards. Okay. So this is the first method by which we have got the shape function. This is the second method by which we have got this shape functions. And let me try one more method. Okay. Let's see how to do that. Now see, all of you, tell me. Now I need to write down the shape function for node 1. Okay, so when I need to write down for node number 1, I will write down n1. When I need to write down shape function n1, I will write down n1. Okay, so this is for node 1. Node 1. Okay, so I will write down for node 1, I will write down for node 2. Okay, I will write down shape function n1, I will write down shape function n2. Before that, I should write down one common shape function n. Okay, so what is that n? N is equal to some constant a. Try to understand. N is equal to some constant a into, what is the equation of this? Can I write down x bar minus 0? Is it okay? It is x bar minus 0. And what is the equation of this? It's x bar minus LE. Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir. Correct.
See, what is the equation of this value? X bar minus 0 is equal to 0. X bar minus LE is equal to 0. So that is what is the region. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me, now we will write down the shape function n1. Okay, now we will write down n1. Now see how to write down n1. N1 is equal to, similarly, a1, that is some constant a1, into, okay, we are not supposed to write down the term which is for node 1. See here, if you see this term, it is written for node 1. Okay, so we are not going to write down this term. We will directly write down this term. It is x bar minus LE. Is it okay? For n1, you neglect the term which is for node 1 because you are writing the shape function for node 1, that is n1. So you neglect the term which is for node 1. So this term I have neglected, x bar minus 0 I neglected, right? So see, at node 1, what is the value of n1? Tell me. Now only just you have calculated. At node 1, what is the value of n1? See, what is the value of n1 at node 1?
1.
What is the value? N1 at node 1. It is obviously equal to 1 because n1 it is defined for node 1 only. So value of n1 is equal to 1 at node 1. Okay. And what is the value of x bar at node 1? See here, x bar at node 1, it is 0. Right? So if you put both of this value here, you will get 1 is equal to a1 into 0 minus LE. 0 minus LE. Right, 0 minus LE. So what you will get? A1 is equal to minus 1 by LE. A1 is equal to minus 1 by LE. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
सर ये ए
Now
है
when
क्या?
you put this value of what is that?
ए है क्या मतलब ए
What is
डिनोट क्या
A?
कर रहा है?
Yes. See, A, it is nothing but a constant. We are interested to calculate the value of constant. Because if you put this value, see, what is Fourier's law of conduction? Q is directly proportional to the A dt by dx. Okay, so how we are written? Q is equal to Ka dt by dx, where K is the conductivity. Similarly, we have written N is equal to some constant into this term. Okay, so because we are interested to calculate the value of constant. Right? So now
Hello,
just
sir.
put this value.
हेलो
हाँ बोलो.
सर फर्स्ट लाइन समझ में नहीं आया कहाँ से आया फर्स्ट लाइन n इक्वल टू ax माइनस
Yes, line.
हाँ सर
We need to write down the shape function for this element. We need to write down the shape function for element. So shape function n is equal to some constant a into what is the equation of this? It is x bar minus 0 is equal to 0. Is it okay? X bar minus 0 is equal to 0. So that is written x bar minus 0. What is the equation of this? It is x bar minus LE is equal to 0. That is x bar minus LE. That is what is the region.
Okay, fine.
Right? So now
Okay.
let's put this value of A1 in equation number 1. So putting the value of A1 in equation number 1. So let's put that value in equation number 1. So what I'll get? N1 is equal to, what is A1? It is minus 1 by LE into x bar minus LE Is it okay? So what you'll get? You'll get 1 minus x bar by LE. Is it okay or not? You'll get 1 minus x bar by LE, right? See, this you have written for N1. Similar, you should write down for N2. Okay, so similar, N2 is equal to A2, N2 is equal to A2 into equation of the line which is not passing through node 2. So I can't write down this term because it is for node 2. So I'll neglect this term and I will write down this term only. X bar minus 0. Is it okay? Yes or no? For node 1, we have rejected this term, or we have not written this term because this is for node 1. For node 2, we have not written this term because this is for node 2. That is what is written, right? So at node 2, what is the value of N2? See, at node 2, can you see at node 2, what is the value of N2? At node 2, what is the value of N2? See, and tell me, at node 2, what is the value of N2?
1.
Right, 1. So at node 2, obviously N2 is 1. And what is the value of X bar? X bar at node 2. It's LE. Right? So put those values. So N2 is equal to 1 is equal to A2. X bar is LE minus 0. Right? So you'll get A2 is equal to 1 by LE. Right? 1 by LE. So put value. So putting value of A2 in equation number 1, we need to put that into equation number 1. So what do you get? Not equation number 1. Let me call this as equation number 2. Let's put that value into equation number 2. So N2 is equal to A2, that is 1 by LE into X bar minus 0 into X bar minus 0. So it becomes X bar by LE. So have you got same shape function N1 and N2? Just check. N1 is 1 minus X bar by LE, N2 is X
Yes,
bar by
sir.
LE. So have you got same shape functions here? 1 minus X bar by LE, X bar by LE, 1 minus X bar by LE, X bar by LE. And again here 1 minus X bar by LE and X bar by LE. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay to see? So what we have done, we have calculated the shape functions by 3 methods. This is by using by the use of polynomial. This is just by writing the equation. Okay, and this is one more method. Is it okay? Is it okay? So what we have done, we have derived the shape function for 1D linear element in local coordinate system by using these 3 methods. Okay. So what we'll do afterwards, we will use only this method because this is the most simple method. Okay. So we will use this method, okay, for further calculation of shape function, right? So now let's do that, right? Now let's move here. Okay. So shape functions for 1D linear element in natural coordinate. So this is 1D element because it's a line. It is linear because you have 2 nodes. And why it is natural? Because you have the value of zeta ranging from -1 to 1, right? Now tell me how I should write down overall shape function n. Tell me, all of you, how I should write down n. Tell me. Just a time before we have written n. So tell me in that sense. You can have this equation for the reference. I just putting this equation for the reference. Let me know. N is equal to
A zeta plus 1 zeta minus 1.
right. N is equal to A will be there, right? A will be there into next. What is that?
Zeta plus 1.
Zeta plus 1.
Right. When you bring this -1 on this side, it becomes +1. So zeta plus 1 is equal to 0 here, right? So this is zeta plus 1 is equal to 0. And here zeta minus 1 is equal to 0. So here it is zeta minus 1. Is it okay? Says or no? This is the overall shape function which you are written. Now tell me for N1. 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 Now tell me N1.
A1 zeta minus 1.
N1 is equal to A1 into See, A1 into this term we are not going to write down because this is for node 1. This we are not going to write down. We will directly write down this term, that is zeta minus 1. Is it okay? We are writing for n1, so we will neglect the term which is for node 1. We are writing for n1, so we will neglect the term which is for n1. So this term we will neglect, and we will simply write down this term, right? Now here you start. So at node 1, what is the value of n1? What is the value of n1 at node 1? Obviously it is 1, right? And what is the value of zeta here at node 1? Zeta at node 1, it's a minus 1. Initially it was x. See here. At node 1, we used to put the value of n1 and x because x was the coordinate. Here, zeta is the coordinate. So we need to put the value of zeta, right? So put this value. So n1 is equal to 1 is equal to a1. What is zeta? It is minus 1, right? So what value of a1 you will get? Minus 1 by 2. Is it okay? Right?
Yes, sir.
So let me put this value. So putting value of a1 in equation 1. Let me put this value in equation number 1. So let's see what we get. So n1 is equal to a1. It is minus 1 by 2. Zeta minus 1. Right? Zeta minus 1. So how will you simplify? We will simplify it like this: 1 minus zeta by 2. Is it okay? It is 1 minus zeta by 2. Right? Next write down n2. So tell me all of you how to write down n2. Tell me how to write down n2.
A2 zeta plus 1.
Right. It is a2. n2 is equal to a2. Okay. n2 is equal to a2. And we are not going to write down this term because this is for node 2. This is for node 2. See here, n2 is equal to a2 into what to be written. So just neglect the term which is for node 2. So we will neglect this term because this is for node 2, and we will just write down this one. That is zeta plus 1. Is it okay? Let me know. So at node 2, obviously n2 is equal to 1. And what is the value of zeta? It is again 1, right? So just put this value. n2 is equal to 1, a2, zeta is 1 plus 1, right? So value of a2, you will get it as half, right? So let me call this as some more equation. This is equation number 2. Okay. So putting value of a2, I need to put the value of a2 in equation 2. In equation 2, I need to put, right? So when I put, I'll get n2 is equal to a2, that is half zeta plus 1, half zeta plus 1. So I'll write down as 1 plus zeta by 2. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood this? See, there is no need of any confusion. Let me clear. Initially, we have derived in local coordinate system by 3 methods. Okay, this is first method, this is only second method, and this is the third method. By 3 methods we are derived, and afterwards we will solve by this third method only. So when we are deriving for natural, for same 1D linear element in natural, we will follow this third method only. Okay, that's why I have taken the third method at the last. Understood? Have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now see, now here you might have filled this question. Here what we have done, similarly we have put the value of different values of x and calculated the shape function, right? Similar thing is going to happen here only, right? So this is for what? This is for natural coordinate. 1D linear element in natural coordinate, right? So now after this, see here. Have you understood? See, for linear, we have seen the local as well as we have seen the natural. Is it okay? For linear element, we have seen the local and also in natural coordinate. So in local, we have seen 3 methods. out of the last method we have adapted for natural coordinate. Last method, because again in natural we have not solved it by again those three methods. We have solved it by a single method, and that was the last method, right? Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Yes,
Let me
sir.
clear. Right. Now we will see the shape functions. See here. Now we'll see the shape functions. Shape functions for again 1D. See here. Shape functions for 1D. Now for linear we have finished. Now we need to take it quadratic. Shape functions for 1D, quadratic element. Initially we are going to see in local. Okay, so in local coordinate system. Okay, now we are moving to quadratic. Okay, we are finished with the linear. Now we are moving to quadratic, and in quadratic initially we are going to see it in a local. Okay, so tell me how I should draw the diagram for quadratic. Tell me how I should draw the diagram. Tell me how I should draw the diagram for quadratic.
So 3
What is
nodes
quadratic
रहेंगे
element?
ना?
Tell me. Right, we have 3 nodes. Okay, so let's consider this element with the 3 nodes. This is the element with the 3 nodes. Okay, you have 3 nodes. Let this be node number 1. Let this be node number 2. Let be node number 3. Each node will have some displacement. U1, U2, U3. Right? What is the total length of the element? We used to call that length as LE, right? Total length is LE, right? Total length of the element is LE. Okay, so here what is the value of x bar? 0. Okay, this is the extreme left boundary. So obviously we have x bar is equal to 0. Here you have x bar is equal to LE, right? This is the total length. Okay, so at this point, what is the value of x bar? LE. Now question is, what is the value of x bar here? What is the value of x bar here?
LE by 2.
LE by
Right,
2.
it is LE by 2, no? It is LE by 2. Because this is basically the midpoint where x bar is equal to LE by 2. Is it okay? Now tell me overall shape function n. Tell me. Now we are following the last method for further calculation. Last method n is equal to tell me.
A into x minus 0 into x minus LE by 2.
X bar minus 0, right? X bar minus LE by 2 and x bar minus LE. Is it okay?
X bar minus LE.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now write down shape function n1. So n1 is equal to a1, right? n1 is equal to a1. Okay, now you are writing for n1, and if you see this term, it is for n1. It is for n1. So this term you are not supposed to write down. You write down rest of the 2 terms. So it is x bar minus LE by 2 and x bar minus LE. Is it okay? Yes or no? Now see, at node 1, see here, all of you. At node 1, what is the value of n1? At node 1, what is the value of n1? What is the value of n1 at node 1? It is 1 only, right? And what is the value of x bar? It is 0. X bar is 0. See, x bar is 0. Okay, at node 1 and n1 is equal to 1, right? So if you put this value, n1 is equal to 1 is equal to a1, x bar is 0 minus LE by 2, into again x bar is 0 minus LE. Okay, so what you'll get? 1 is equal to A1. Okay, this is minus minus plus LE square by 2, right? LE square by 2. Okay, understood na? So what value of A1 you will get? What is the value of A1? It is 2 by LE square, right? It is 2 by LE square. Is it okay? Is
Yes,
it okay
sir.
or not? If you put this value in N1, so what value of N1 you will get? N1 is equal to A1, that is 2 by LE square, x bar minus LE by 2 into x bar minus LE into x bar minus LE. Is it okay? Is it okay? Let me know. Now see, can you write down N2? Can you write down N2 or not? Let me know. Can you write down N2?
X bar minus 0
Bolo. N2 is equal to A2.
into x bar minus 0.
Right, x bar minus 0. Now your second term you don't take because it is for
Yes.
second node.
X bar minus LE.
X bar minus A. Right. So similarly at node 2, what is the value of N2? Obviously 1, because N2 it is defined for node 2. So its value will be equal to 1. And what is the value of x bar? It is LE by 2. Right? X bar is LE by 2. Is it okay or not? Right. So just put this value. 1 is equal to A2. X bar is LE by 2 minus 0 into again x bar is LE by 2 minus LE. Yes or no? Okay, so what we'll get here? 1 is equal to A2. This is LE by 2, right? This is LE by 2. And this is what? Minus LE by 2, right? So this is minus LE square by 4. Is it okay or not? See here. This is LE by 2 minus LE. What is LE by 2 minus LE? It's minus LE by 2. So minus LE by 2 into LE by 2, it's LE minus LE square by 4, right? So what value of A2 you will get? A2 you will get it as minus 4 by LE square. Is it okay? So if you put this value, what you will get? N2 is equal to minus 4 by LE square. N2 is equal to minus 4 by LE square, x bar minus 0, x bar minus 0 and x bar minus LE. See here, x bar minus LE, right? Is it okay? Now go for N3. Go for N3. Now tell me, what is N3?
A3 into x bar minus 0 into x
See,
bar
N3,
minus
N3
LE
is
by
equal to
2.
A3 into, you write down these two terms. Last term you don't write down because it is for node 3. We are writing for N3, so you don't write down the last term because the last term it is for node 3. So it is x bar minus 0 and this is x bar minus LE by 2. Is it okay? So similarly, at node 3, what is the value of N3? Obviously it is 1. And what is the value of x bar? It is 0. At node 3, obviously N3 is 1 and x bar is 0. X bar is LE. Sorry, x bar is LE. See, x bar is equal to LE. X bar is LE. So just put this value. So N3 is equal to 1 is equal to A3. X bar is LE minus 0. And this is again LE minus LE by 2. Right? LE minus LE by 2. So what you will get here? 1 is equal to A1. 1 is equal to A1. Sorry, A3. 1 is equal to A3 into this LE. This is LE and this is LE by 2. Right? LE and LE by 2. So you will get LE square by 2. Is it okay? You will get LE square by 2. Right? So what value of A3 you will get? A3 you will get as 2 by LE square. 2 by LE square. Is it okay? So if you put this in N3, N3 we will get it as A3, that is 2 by L square, 2 by L square, x bar minus 0, x bar minus 0, and x bar minus LE by 2, x bar minus LE by 2. Is it okay? Have you understood these shape functions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me how to plot the graph. Okay, see for last, okay, for linear element we have plot the graph like somewhat like this. Okay, similar sort of graph we should plot. Okay, so tell me how we'll plot the value of n1. Let's plot the graph for n1. Okay, let's start here. This is node number 1, this is node number 2, this is node number 3. I'm writing for n1. Okay, so n1 is equal to 1. Yes or no? Yes or no? N1 is equal to 1. At which node? Node number 1. Is it okay or not? Let me know. N1 is equal to 1. At which node? Node number 1. What is about for all other node? It is 0. Yes or no? N1 is equal to 1. At which node? Node number 1. And for node number 2, it is 0. For node number 3 is 0. But how the path it is going to follow? It will follow the quadratic path, because it's not a linear equation. Is it a linear equation? No, because see, if you see in this graph, it's a straight line. It's a straight line because you have linear equation. Y is equal to C0 plus C1x, as like y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. Like that equation, you have it for linear element. So that's why this nature, it's a straight line, right? But your element, it's a quadratic, right? So you won't have a straight line. You have some curvature like this. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we draw some sort of graph like N2? Tell me. This is node number 1, this is node number 2, and this is node number 3. So tell me how I should draw for N2. Is it okay? N2 is equal to 1. N2 is equal to 1. At which node? Node number 2. Yes or no?
Semicircle.
Right. You'll get some graph like semicircle. Right. N2 is equal to 1. N2 is equal to 1. Okay. At node 2. Okay. At node 2. N2 is equal to 1 at node 2. And for what is about at all other node? It is 0, na? Yes or no? So here you will have graph like this. Here you will have 0 value, 0 like this. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
This is for node 2. Can we have similar graph for node 3? Here N3 is equal to 1, right? This is node 1. This is node 2. This is node 3. Here N3 is equal to 1. What is about for rest of the node? What is for
Zero.
rest of the node? It is 0. This is 0. This is 0. Here it is 1. Similarly, see here. This is 0. This is 0. At this node it is 1. Similarly, this is 0. Here it is 1. Here it is 0. Here it is 1. Here it is 0. Here it is 0. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Right. So if we combine
Yes,
the
sir.
graph, if we combine the graph like this, okay, tell me how we should draw. Go. Okay, here N1 is 1. N1 is equal to 1 here, right? N1 is equal to 1. So from here we have a graph like this. Is it okay? Clear? Similarly, here N2 is equal to 1, right? N2 is equal to 1. So we have graph somewhat like this. Yes or no? Here we have N3 is equal to 1. So we have graph somewhat like this. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
सर ग्राफ में A1 A2 A3 नहीं शो होगा.
See, graph it is for shape function, na? See how this graph is been derived. It is just by putting the values in this equation. See, in this equation n1, you put x bar is equal to 0. If you put x bar is equal to 0, you will get 1. If you put x bar is equal to LE by 2, you will get 0. If you put x bar is equal to LE, you will get 0. Okay. Similarly, in equation of n2, you put x bar is equal to 0, you will get 0. You put x bar is equal to LE by 2. Okay, you'll get 1. You put x bar is equal to LE, you will get 0 again. See, this graph you'll get. See, A1, A2, A3, it is nothing but the constants. Huh? And from those constants, we are calculating the shape functions. So if you have shape function, there is no need to have constants. Ultimately, we are drawing the graph for shape functions, no, not for constants. Is it okay? See this. This graph, it is constructed by referring this equation n1. See, this n2 graph is okay constructed by using this n2. Okay, this value. Similarly, this graph for n3, it is constructed by putting this different values of x bar in shape function. See here, if you put x bar is equal to 0, just put here. Just put x bar is equal to 0. If you put x bar is equal to 0, you will get 1 value. If you put x bar is equal to LE by 2, you will get 0. See here. If you put x bar is equal to LE, you will get again 0. Here in this equation. Now come back to this equation. You put x bar is equal to 0, you will get 0. See here. If you put x bar is equal to LE by 2, you will get 1. If you put x bar is equal to LE, again you will get 0. See. Now come back here. So sorry. This equation. Right? Now just see here. All of you see here. Now in this equation, you put x bar is equal to 0, you will get 0. If you put x bar is equal to LE by 2, you will get again 0. If you put x bar is equal to LE, you will get 1. So this is how it is derived. And when you combine all those three graphs, you will get this equation. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this we have done it for what? Quadratic element. In which coordinate? Local, right? Local we have seen, right? So we should derive it. We should derive it for natural coordinate now, right? We are supposed to derive it for natural coordinate. Okay. So let's see how to do that. So shape functions for 1D, same I'm writing quadratic element, shape functions for 1D quadratic element in natural coordinate system. In natural coordinate system. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Now tell me what is quadratic? Three nodes, na? What is quadratic? You should have 3 nodes. Okay, so this is 1D. It means it's a line. Quadratic means it is 1, 2, 3 nodes. In natural, right? So let me write down 1. This is node number 2. This is node number 3. This is displacement at node 1, displacement at node 2, and displacement at node 3. Right? So here, quadratic means what? Zeta, it is ranging from -1 to +1. This is the range of zeta, ranging from -1 to +1. This is the range of zeta, which is ranging from -1 to +1. Right? Now, tell me what should be the coordinate for node 2. See, you know the extreme limit. You know it is between -1 and +1. What is the extreme left hand side? What is the minimum value? -1. What is the maximum value? +1. So what is in between? Tell me that.
0.
0.
Right? It has, obviously it has to be 0. Right? So now can you calculate? Can you calculate shape function? Can you write an overall shape function n? Can you write down shape function, overall shape function n? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how to write down.
Z plus 1, zeta plus 1.
A into
A
zeta plus
into
1
zeta plus
plus
1
into zeta
minus 0, zeta minus 0
into
and
zeta minus
Is it
1.
okay? You just bring it here. So this becomes zeta plus 1, bring it here. This becomes zeta minus 0. This becomes here zeta minus 1, right? This is overall shape function. Now write down for node number 1, shape function for node number 1, that is n1. So it is a1 into, now you don't take down this equation, this term, because it is for node 1. So we'll write down zeta minus 0, zeta minus 1. Is it okay? Yes or no? So at node number 1, you know what is the value of n1? 1 obviously. And what is the value of zeta? It is minus 1. So put that value. 1 is equal to a1. Zeta is minus 1 minus 0. And zeta is minus 1, again minus 1. So what you'll get? 1 is equal to a1. This is minus 1. This is minus 2. So this is 2. So a1 is equal to half. Is it okay? Yes or no? Yes or no? So n1 is equal to half zeta minus 0 and zeta minus 1. Is it okay with this one or not? Let me know. Right? Now can we calculate second shape function n2? n2 is equal to a2 into, okay, now you just take first term. You don't take second term. You just take first term, that is zeta plus 1. You don't take second term because this is for node 2. Then you take third term, zeta minus 1, zeta minus 1. Is it okay? Yes or no? Tell me. All of you tell me. So at node 2, what is the value of n2?
1.
1. What is the value of zeta?
0.
0. Put that value. So 1 is equal to a2. Zeta is 0 plus 1 and 0 minus 1, right? 0 plus 1 and 0 minus 1. So what you'll get? 1 is equal to a2. 0 plus 1 is 1 and this is minus 1. So you'll get minus 1, right? So from this, you can calculate the value of a2 as minus 1, right? So if you put this value in equation of n2, you'll get n2 is equal to minus 1, zeta plus 1 and zeta minus 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, can you write down n3? n3 is equal to a3 into, now you don't write down this equation because this is for node 3. So don't write down this. Rest of the two you can write down. Zeta plus 1 and zeta minus 0, right? So similarly, at node 3, what is the value of n3? Obviously it is 1. What is the value of zeta? It is again 1. So 1 is equal to a3. Zeta is 1 plus 1. Zeta is 1 minus 0, right? So this will come 1 is equal to a3. This is 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 into 1 is 2 again. So a3 you will get it as half, right? a3 you will get it as half. So if you put this value into equation n3, you will get same 1 by 2 zeta plus 1 and zeta minus 0. Have you understood this? Let me know. Have you understood or not? Let me know.
Yes, understood.
Okay, so see what we have done basically, we have put the different values of zeta, okay, and we got these shape functions. Okay, so in the previous derivation where we have derived the shape function for same element, that is for quadratic element, but in the local coordinate we have this graph. So similar sort of graph you will get it here. Similar graph you will get. Okay, similar graph you will get. Only here you have local coordinate, that is 0, LE by 2 and LE. Okay, instead of that you have here natural coordinate, that is -1, 0 and 1. Okay, so but obviously node is going to remain there only, right? Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, and similar nature of the graph you will get. Similar nature graph you will get. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see all of you now. See now what we'll do is now we'll just take some problems. Okay, we'll just take some problem based on this. We'll just take some problem based on this. Okay, so we have done it initially for linear and then we have done it for quadratic. Okay, so let's initially do it for cubic. Okay, and let's afterwards solve the problem. Let's afterwards solve the problem. Okay, so this is for linear we have finished. For quadratic we have finished. Similarly, you can move ahead just by increasing the number of nodes. So if you keep on increasing the number of nodes, what happens is, okay, constants increases, but your accuracy also increases. Okay, constant increases, but your accuracy is also increased. Accuracy is also increased. Is it okay with this one? Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let's take down one problem based on this. A 1D spar element, a 1D spar element having a linear shape functions, is as below. Find the natural coordinate of point P. Find the natural coordinate of point P. Find the natural coordinate of point P if the temperature at the node, at node 1 is 50 degrees Celsius, and at node 2 is minus 20 degrees Celsius, find the temperature at point P. Find the temperature at point P. Okay, so now see what is the diagram given. All of you just read the problem and tell me what is given data and how we can solve the problem. Just let me know what is given and how we will solve the problem.
So wake the camera.
Yeah. Tell me how to solve the problem. See, all of you, what is very basic step in this is, if we can see the location of node 1 or location of node P or location of node 2, it is defined in terms of with reference to some other point. Yes or no? They have measured the location of node 2 with respect to the point which is lying outside the element. Similarly, this location of node P, they have measured with respect to the point which is lying outside again the element. Again, similar case is going to happen with the node 2. Okay, so initially this problem, it is given in the global, but whatever the formula that we have seen those formulas either in the local or in a natural, right? Either in a local or natural. So very basic step here is to convert that global coordinate system into local coordinate system, right? So tell me how I should draw. This is 1, P2. These are the nodes, right? So if I consider the value of x bar here 0, if I consider the value of x bar here 0, then what is the value of x bar here? Tell me.
Pi.
Right, here it is 5. What is the value of x bar here?
25.
See here, see, this is 30, this is 25, so obviously this is 5, right? Similarly, this is 25, this is 25, this is 50, this is 50, so this total will be 25, this total will be 25. Out of 25, this 5 is gone, so what is remaining? It's a 20. Okay, obviously this total length is 25, that is not an issue. Okay, so this is, here is 0, here it is 5, this is 25. So this is length is 5 and this is 20. So 5, 20, this becomes 25. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now what is the temperature at node 1 they have given? What is the temperature at node 1? 50 degrees Celsius. See here. Temperature at node 1, 50. What is the temperature at node 2? This is at node 2, minus 20 degrees. Is it okay? What they're asking, what is the temperature at point P? They're asking. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so just a time before, okay, so see, just a time before, we have seen the shape function for 1D linear element. 1D linear element. Can you see this one? 1D linear element. See, this is 1D linear element. This is basically a linear element. You don't consider this element has a 3 nodes. They haven't written 1, 2, 3. For this element, you have only 2 nodes, 1 and 2. And they're asking to calculate the temperature at one of the point within the element. Getting or not? So this element will have only 2 nodes. These nodes are 1 and 2. So this is the linear element. So we need to refer the shape functions for linear element. And what are the shape functions? 1 minus x bar by LE, right? See, so how will calculate temperature? How will calculate temperature? Temperature is equal to, can I write down 1 minus x bar by LE T1 plus x bar by LE T2. Yes or no? Is it okay or not? Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is it a formula? Just a time before we have derived this formula, 1 minus x bar by LE and x bar by LE. Here it was displacement. Now I need to calculate temperature. So I'll putting the temperature. I'll be putting this temperature, right? So can we calculate? Let me know. Can we calculate? At what temperature you need to, at what distance you need to calculate this temperature? This temperature you need to calculate at x bar. So we are writing temperature at x bar is equal to 1 minus. What is your x bar? At what distance you need to calculate temperature from this point? At a distance 5, na? Yes or no? Yes or no? You need to calculate the temperature at what distance?
Yes, sir.
At x bar is equal to 5. Okay. Upon what is the total length of the element? Tell me, what is this total length of the element LE?
25.
This is 25. Yes or no? The total length of the LE is 25. So this x bar is what? The distance at which you need to calculate temperature. That is 5. Upon total length of the element is 25 into T1. What is that? 50, right? Plus, again, this is 5 by 25 into minus 20. Is it okay? Yes or no? So can you calculate temperature now?
36.
How much? 36
36.
degrees. 36 degrees Celsius. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay with this one? Okay. Now we are interested. See, this is the first thing which asks. Find the temperature at point P. So we have calculated the temperature at point P, because at point P, what was the value of X bar? 5. X bar is equal to 5. So that values we have put, and we have calculated the temperature at a distance P. As at a point P, that is at a distance X bar. They're asking find the natural coordinate of point P. So see, its local coordinate is 5. Its local coordinate is 5. See, my question is, if X bar is equal to 5, what is the value of zeta? Because they are asking the value of natural coordinate, that is zeta. So if X bar is equal to 5, what is the value of zeta? That we should know. Right? So just think and let me know. So now see, X bar is equal to 5. That means it is how much zeta? Okay. So there we required one conversion. Okay. So that formula is given by X is equal to B plus A by 2 plus B minus A by 2 zeta. See here, this formula you don't know. How to convert X into zeta or zeta into X? So formula for X is given by B plus A by 2 plus B minus A by 2 zeta. Now what is B and A? See, B, it is nothing but your extreme limit. It is 25, right? A, it's your minimum value of X bar. It is equal to 0. Is it okay? X bar is equal to your maximum limit, and this is your minimum limit. B is your maximum limit. A is your minimum limit. Is it okay? So X bar, value of X bar, you know. Value of X bar is no. That is 5. 5 is equal to B is 25 plus A is 0 by 2 plus next 25 minus 0 by 2 zeta, right? Yes or no? So what you'll get? 5 is equal to, this is 12.5 plus 12.5 zeta. Okay. So tell me what value of zeta you are getting. Zeta is equal to, tell me what value of zeta you are getting.
Minus 0.6.
You're getting zeta as minus 0.6. See here, this is the next level. We can also solve this problem by using, so you know the value of zeta. Okay, what is asked? Na? They asked what is the natural coordinate. So we have calculated that value of zeta. But similarly, we can calculate this temperature also by using natural. See, we have calculated the temperature by using local coordinate system. We have calculated this temperature by using local coordinate system. Similarly, we can calculate the shape function by using natural coordinate system. Yes or no? Can we calculate or not? Let me know. Can we calculate the shape function by using natural coordinate? See here, just a time before, we have written the formula for shape function of linear element in natural coordinate. What is that? 1 minus zeta by 2, first shape function. And what is shape function, second shape function? N2. 1 plus zeta by 2. Okay, so just put these values of zeta and tell me the value of N1 and N2. Tell me the value of N1 and N2. Tell me the value of N1 and N2, all of you.
.8.
N1 is 0.8. N2?
Zero.
How much?
0.2.
0.2. All of you check this value. Now you have shape functions. Can you calculate temperature? Yes, you can calculate temperature at any distance x is equal to N1 T1 plus N2 T2. N1 T1 plus N2 T2. See, this is only same, na? N1 T1, N2 T2, right? So N1 we have 0.8 into T1, that is 50, plus N2 that is 0.2 into T2, it is minus 20. So can we get what answer we are getting? Just check.
$36.
36. Right? So see what you have done. Initially the problem was given in local coordinate. That problem of a local coordinate we have transformed in, sorry, the problem was given in a global coordinate. We have transformed that problem into local coordinate, and then we have solved. We are getting these values of temperature, this value of temperature. Now after that, we have converted that problem into natural coordinate, and then we have solved it again. So we are getting the same value. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
So see, initially we have seen the shape functions. So you might have, you doesn't have the idea why we are learning these shape functions, right? But see, when we have solved this problem, okay, you might have understand what is the purpose to learn the shape functions. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.